Oh gosh, you know, I've wrestled the Hurricane. I know the 3 Count, Young Dragons, Jeff Jarrett, K Quick. Wrestled with, you know, along with Scott Hall and all the rest of the NWA members. And I've wrestled along with, not with, against, but Doug Williams, who's an awesome wrestler.
Now, one of the guys you're having the biggest feuds with is, of course, Jerry Lynn, a guy that's making an appearance on Sunday, October the 13th at British Uprising. Jerry Lynn, a fantastic piece of talent. What's it like?
Is up in his, his 30s, because the guy moves like he's in his teens. He's unbelievable, especially with the experience that he has. But he's just hard to keep up with, you know, because he knows so much and knows so many counters. It's just amazing.
Now, AJ, let me tell you, recently I tracked down a tape of you for the Ring of Honor promotion. You had one of the most unbelievable matches that I've ever seen against Low Key. And watching that match, it really struck me that, of course, in NWA-TNA, they've got something called the X Division, which is not a weight category, but it's for extreme athletes. They're people that push their body to the limit, which is something you obviously do. Did it ever cross your mind to do what a lot of wrestlers do and slow it down and just see if you can save your body? Or did you just decide from the get-go you're just going to let it all hang out and just go 100 miles an hour?
Well, you know, the people didn't pay to see somebody get out there and grab a headlock and sit there for 5-10 minutes. They earn that money for, you know, however long they work. And when they come to see AJ Styles, they're going to see 110% of him. So, you know, I've never thought about slowing down. When you slow down, you know, things tend to happen that shouldn't. You know, maybe you get hurt or whatever. I tend not to think about that and just go out there and kick some butt.
Now, AJ, we've had some emails in for you. Jane Charles.
Yes, I've got one here from Sean, who's in Gloucester, and he wants to say that you were amazing at King of the Indies 2001. Are you entered for this year's, and who do you think's going to win?
Now, was the question about the new King of the Indies, or are they having another tournament?
He wants to know if you're in the latest King of Indies that's just about to happen.
No, obviously, I guess I'm not, because I haven't heard anything about it. Not since the first of King of the Indies was just probably one of the most unbelievable experiences I've ever had. You know, the best of the best of the best were there, and you know, I don't know who's going to win this. There's so many people that are amazing, and it comes like American Dragon, Low Key, and Doug Williams, and you know, Christopher Daniels, and I can go on and on about how many great wrestlers were there. So honestly, I don't even know who's going to be there, but I'm sure it's going to be great.
And I've had another email in from Carl Harris in Dudley, and he wants to know, who do you think is the coolest guy in the locker room that you've worked with?
Let's see, the coolest. I'm going to have to say, there's so many guys. You know, to be honest with you, there's so many guys that are so cool to work with. You know, the guys who you think that could go out there and have the big head and not talk to you. But, you know, Jerry Lynn and guys like that, it just gets better and better. So there's not just one. There's so many different guys who are just great to work with and great to be friends with.
Okay, Jay, I'm going to ask you the obvious question, I'm afraid. Vince McMahon, you're one of the most talked about people in the indie scene. Vince McMahon comes knocking on your door with a WWE contract. I mean, is that likely, and would you take it if he did it tomorrow?
AJ, before you answer, AJ, there was a rumour going around that they offered you a developmental deal and you turned it down. Is there any truth to that?
Well, it's true. I mean, I went to one of their camps, and they offered me a contract, but the fact of the matter was that it wasn't enough money to really live off of. I'm a married man, and I couldn't see myself moving up to Cincinnati, Ohio, when I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, for the amount of money they were offering. So, you know, financially, I told them I couldn't take it. I didn't burn any bridges, you know, and as far as now, if they offer me a contract, you know, I'd probably have to say, unless it was just for a huge amount of money, that I'd probably turn it down, because right now I'm still with NWA-TNA, who took a chance on AJ Styles. So if they're going to do that for me, help me out, I'm going to do the same.
Well, considering where your name and reputation has gone from there, it's obvious that you took the right decision. Let me just ask you, AJ, obviously you're with NWA-TNA at the moment. Do you see that being the future? And if not, who else is there? Is it Ring of Honor, CCW, another company? And do you think anyone else can step up to the plate and take on Vince at his own game?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of talk, you know, about TNA. You know, can it make it with it just being on pay-per-view? You know, honestly, I hope that we get some TV, because, you know, some people just can't afford $10 a week, you know. But if it does go under, the Ring of Honor is an unbelievable company that I love to work for. This is where all the great wrestlers go. You know, most of TNA are from, you know, Ring of Honor. So it just keeps getting better and better. And, you know, there's a couple more out there that are wanting to grow, but I think Ring of Honor has the best shot.
Well, let me ask you, AJ. Now, the obvious thing is, obviously, you know, you've got an innovative style and you do a lot of innovative moves that people have not seen before. Have you invented these moves yourself, or has somebody helped you with them? And where'd you get the ideas from?
Honestly, this is funny. I got this move called the Styles Clash, and what it is, it's a pedigree, but I do it with my legs, and therefore it opens up their whole body to the mat when I give it, not just their face. So, and how I came up with this is there was two kids playing on the trampoline next door to me, and they were trying to power bomb each other, but they weren't strong enough to hold him all the way up. So he'd just dangle in front of the guy. So, you know, and the idea popped in my head, and now it's one of the, I think everybody tries to use the Styles Clash. But, hey, you know, and you know, you can hardly ever come up with a new move. They're usually variations, and, you know, the spiral tap, you know, it's a swanton with a twist, you know. So there's different variations, but most of the time I love to get them from kids, you know, because they have the best ideas.
Let me ask you, AJ, when you do, like, you know, you go to the trouble of inventing a move and making sure you know exactly how to hit it, and you're the guy who brings this move out, and then a few weeks or months later you switch on maybe WWE or New Japan or somewhere and see these guys doing your move, do you get ticked off about it, or are you flattered?
Well, you know, it's funny because everybody was teasing me about the Styles Clash, because now Crash Holly is using it in the WWE, calling it the Crash Landing, I think. But you know what? I'm going to take it as a compliment, because everybody else knows who's, you know, if you've seen NWA-TNA, you know where it came from.
Yeah.
And if you've seen anything on the independent scene, you know that, you know, it came from me. So it's actually more of a compliment now than anything, because they're saying, hey, you know, Crash Holly's using AJ Styles' finisher. So.
Now, AJ, you're obviously one of the top names on the independent scene in the US. Other names, of course, include the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, fantastic piece of talent, Low Key, Doug Williams as well, born and bred here in the UK, American Dragon. All these guys, with the exception of American Dragon, who various British companies have been in negotiations with, have one thing in common. They've all travelled and wrestled here to the UK. AJ, we've got a big show coming up Sunday, October the 13th. It's possibly the biggest British wrestling event of all time. And we spent the last 4 weeks trying to find the perfect opponent for one of our top British guys, Johnny Storm. He kicked up a storm in Ring of Honor and, of course, CCW. We need someone for him. Let me ask you, AJ, would you be interested in coming over here to the UK?
Absolutely. It would be an honor to be over there.
It's a huge, huge show, AJ, and it's one of the big matches that people are talking about far and wide is Doug Williams v Jerry Lynn, AJ Styles v Johnny Storm. So we can confirm that for October the 13th, AJ.
Yes, confirm that. It will happen, yes.
AJ, well, before we get to that, have you got a website or anything where people can come and visit and see what you look like before they turn up to the show?
Unfortunately, it's still under construction, but it will be up pretty soon. It will be Styles Clash, you know, play www.stylesclash.com, you know, and they'll be able to reach me there here soon.
And what have you got coming up in the next couple of days?
Next, speaking, I'm at a venue right now with a lot of wrestlers that are well known. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the Road Warriors, New Jack, Dusty Rhodes. So that's why I'm calling you from a cell phone right now. So, and then, you know, back to Ring of Honor, and then on the road some more. There's so much going on with in my career right now, I can't even explain, you know, so it's, I'm not complaining, though. This is just a highlight of my career.
Well, AJ, it's been great having you on Talk Wrestling. It's going to be even better having you in the flesh Sunday, October the 13th. My man, don't go injuring yourself before then. If anyone's seen AJ Styles, you know why I say that. The man takes some huge risks in that ring, but it pays off. He's a fantastic piece of talent. AJ, look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you, too.